Greetings and welcome, fellow farmers and harvesters. Today in this episode we are going to look at farming nanite clusters. I did touch on this previously in my 50 hours in video. However, since then there have been a few balancing patches that have come out that has changed the ratio of plat to nanites, all of which I will go into in this video. This is after patch 2.11, and from the looks of it, I don't think this will change again anytime soon. I also want to reiterate that this is a non-glitch guide, completely bug-free. I have said in previous vids that you don't need to use exploits in No Man's Sky, because once you've reached a certain point and have the right knowledge, then the entire universe is there, yours for the taking when you want it. Okay, first up, let's go through some of the things that you can do to get nanites. You can scavenge for them laying around in stations and buildings. You can sell modules that you have received from aliens and missions to the dealers that sell modules. Mission givers in the station and quest rewards in the Nexus, as well as cooking rewards, and finally refining them at one of your bases. Now, if you want to focus on getting as many nanites as quickly as possible, the only thing in this list that I recommend is base refining. All the others can take a long time to achieve for so little reward. Scavenging before the update used to be somewhere between 15 and 40 nanites. After the patch, you now get a little bit more on each pickup. However, as you will only find a few in each station, have to spend ages scanning and searching planets to find the odd building here and there for just another one or two, it's just not worth it. Even if you're only focusing on the stations and just warping to the next station over when you have picked each station clean, after crafting the warp cells, the load times, searching and all, you just spend too much time for too little rewards. Next up, we have mission rewards. If collecting nanites through missions is time efficient or not, it really depends on your level of skill and willingness to do stuff. For example, to scan life forms, it will probably take you less than 10 minutes to leave the station, go down to the planet below that's teeming with life and just scan the surrounding area. Or for maybe a pirate kill mission, to be immediately jumped by the right amount of pirates as soon as you leave, kill them and return. In an ideal universe. However, this is not an ideal universe. We do not have magical rainbows, or unicorns and castles in the clouds as we dance with the fairies. Well, not yet anyway. What will really happen is you'll spend the next 2 to 3 hours trying to find a planet you haven't visited before because you've already scanned everything within the next few parsecs, and all the other planets are barren wastelands with no sign of life, whilst the pirates that you need to kill have decided to go on vacation this week, and you spend ages fruitlessly jumping from system to system trying to upgrade that combat scammer just to find less than half of what you need just to get the quest updated. The quests on the Nexus are a little bit better, as they will warp you to the areas you need to go to when you leave the anomaly, but unless you manage to get into a group, you better get yourself comfortable and settle in for the long grind, because you'll need to work hard for that 250 nanites, doing whatever the request requires of you, from searching a hazardous planet for a type of carnivorous plant to building up bases whilst under attack from the Sentry. Then there's the cook. Whilst it's okay to make up a few meals and feed it a cook, the amount of text you have to go through, plus all the preparing of low, medium, high quality items just to make something palatable enough for him to give you a random chance of getting anything up to 40 units. It's also just not worth it in the long run. Now, I know I say it's not worth doing this or that, and at the risk of contradicting myself, I still recommend doing it if the opportunity comes by. Just don't go out of your way to focus solely on these things. As someone once told me, look after the pennies and the pounds will look after themselves. What we are going to look at will give us the maximum amount of nanites in the shortest amount of time. And for this, I recommend refining. Yep, you heard it. You can refine nanite clusters. Although it will require a lot of resources from things like money, gold, silver, and so on. But if you've been following the 3 videos I've created so far, you would now have your money farming base set up, as well as a few other bases for general minerals, all going at it full throttle. Now let's go over the items we can refine into nanites. So far I've only discovered 3 things, and these are platinum, pungdom and slime. Firstly, slime is the hardest one to refine, as it has multiple levels of refining and can take a long time to get from slime to nanites. Okay, to refine slime into nanite clusters, you need to go through several layers, and it can take ages from each layer. These are from slime, viscous fluids, to living slime, then from living slime to runaway mold, and then from runaway mold to nanite clusters. As each cycle can take a long time, it could be up to an hour before you start seeing results. With this one, I don't recommend it unless you have a lot of time to spare. Secondly, we have pungdom. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it right, it's this thing up here. You'll normally get this when killing sentinels. Now if you like, you can just go on a rampage around killing sentinels wherever you find them. However, if you don't want the hassle, it is a common thing that is sold in large quantities in wealthy markets. If you're in a high or prosperous system and you can find it in the market terminals, then I highly recommend just going from ship pilot to ship pilot, buying up all the pungdom you can find. Before you know it, you'll have several stacks filled with the stuff. Then just get right back to your base and then throw them all in your refiner. They will go straight to nanites at a rate of, I think, about 25 to 1, which should still refine nicely with multiple 4 stacks. And lastly, there is platinum. Just like pungdom, you can buy this in massive bulks from wealthy markets, but its conversion rate is at 35 to 1. If you mix a little gold and silver with it, then it can drop to 25 to 1 and 15 to 1 for both gold and the silver. You do get more nanites, but you use up more valuable resources. Before the 2.11 patch, you had a much higher rate of 5 to 1 for just a platinum on its own, but when mixing the platinum with the gold and silver, it was a rate at 250 to 1 platinum, so it just was not worth it to add the gold and silver. However, now after the 2.11 patch, it is updated, so you get platinum at 1 to 35 on its own, or 1 to 25 if you add in gold and silver with it, making it a little bit more prosperous to do that. Before the 2.11 patch, you had a much higher rate of 5 to 1, so you could easily churn out nanites in over the thousands each run. But with the balancing of patch 2.11, each full run can net you out about 250 to 350, depending if you want to mix in the extra. However, you don't have to rely on the market to get this, as you can make platinum yourself. By mixing gold and silver together in the refiner, you can easily make as much platinum as you want. I highly recommend setting up a gold and silver mining bases with high amounts of storage. That way each day you can drop on by to your mining bases and get about 10 to 20,000 units of each type, depending on how you've set up your bases. If you have built them as advised in my building base video, then you'll get a good amount of minerals to start with. Mix the gold and silver together to get the platinum, and then run that through the refiner to make your nanite clusters. And this concludes this video on No Man's Sky's 3 Things, Part 3 of Farming Nanites. Don't forget to check out the other 2 videos if you haven't already, as they will guide you in how to make ferrite dust out of thin air and the basis of base building. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video as much as I've done in creating it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys out there.